lawyers have to learn to make their writing not merely informative but persuasive. So this is very important, right? When you are writing as a lawyer, you need to realize that a lot of when you are writing, what is the difference in the writing that you do in primary school, high school in English? You write essays, right? Write the essay about cow, and you are writing an essay, right? That you can write. So you have some comment over English language. You are writing. So how is that writing skill different when you are a lawyer, right? And the fundamental thing is that when you are a lawyer, there are two important things. One I have written here on the screen. You can see that you have to be persuasive with your writing. You are persuading other people to do something with your writing, which is a very unique skill for lawyers. Not a lot of experts have this. Not a lot of other professionals have this. But this is anyway a very important skill if you want to succeed, that you are able to actually persuade other people through your writing. It is a very, very important skill, and it can make a huge difference to you, right? So this is one thing. The other thing I want to tell you about is that your ability to organize information and structure information, right? So lawyers are, when you want to persuade, right, one of the aspects of persuasion is that imagine that you have a massive amount of content, massive amount of information. How do you present that information in a structured way that it makes sense to people and they are able to quickly grasp what you're trying to say, right? So imagine, like, once we did a webinar with a lawyer who does a lot of construction arbitration, right? In construction arbitration, sometimes it's like, there are 600 volumes of documents. Like the annexure has 600 volumes, like it's a mountain of information, right? So obviously, if you are expecting the arbitrator is going to read everything, it is his job to read everything, sure. But what if he reads it and he gets it wrong? As a lawyer, you can't afford that, right? Your client's millions of dollars is hanging on the thread that the arbitrator has to understand the point that you are making and agree with you. Agree with you. That persuasion comes later. First of all, he has to be in the possession of the same information as you have, right? First of all, that arbitrator has to at least have the same information or the same factual scenario, right? To even do that in a complex case, right, you have to break it down in a simple way. You have to present it in a way that that arbitrator is able to understand. Even your client, for that matter, is able to understand, right? If you cannot do that, then you are not a good lawyer. So that is where, to be a lawyer, the writing skill is so important. The other day we were talking about this with another lawyer about criminal law practice, for example. A lot of times now, judges are coming to the court. Yes, they're hearing arguments, but they don't give so much time to argue. They come prepared by seeing your written submission. And what you have given in writing, they're going to sometimes almost make up their mind. They are willing to hear the things also, but they have also made an opinion of your case by reading what you have submitted in writing. Now, if you are really good at presenting the right information in the right way, you may have won half the battle there. Okay, that is how important writing skill is. When you are filing SLPs before the Supreme Court, judges are picking up files and throwing. They don't even let you speak for 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. That's all you get to convince them. That means you had a chance to convince them in writing in the first place. And if that did not work, then they won't even give you much opportunity to speak. But if you have done a good job in writing, they might say, okay, fine, tell me what is it that you are arguing. Or they may have a question that why not this, why not that? And then you get to clarify that question, and then they'll admit your SLP. So there are so many other examples. As a lawyer, if you're not good at writing, number one, persuasion, and even before persuasion, presenting complex information, difficult information in a simple manner, right? So how many of you can do this? How many of you can persuade with your language, right? When you're writing, you're actually persuading people, number one. And not only that, you are able to take a lot of complex information and present it in a simple, easy to understand manner. How many of you can do it? So do not underestimate how difficult it is, okay? Great. So let's get to the next point, right? Next point is lawyers have to learn to make their writing not merely informative but persuasive. We just said that, right? They have to deal with volumes of documents and excessive information, which they have to present in a way that makes the crux obvious, the point you're making. It's so obvious after reading. There should not be one big problem a lot of people have is that they leave ambiguity in the way they are writing. Okay. When you are writing something, it may make sense in your head, but that is not good enough. It has to make sense to somebody else who is reading it. Perfect sense. No chance of misreading it. No chance of having a second meaning of this. Right? So this is something to keep in mind.